That's the whole point of this book. Stop giving a fuck about things you can't change and focus on fixing what you can change. Welcome back once again to a new book review. The book we are going to be talking about today is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. This book is not your average everyday self-help book, and if cussing is something that is not your forte and that you don't enjoy, then this book definitely isn't for you, and it probably is for you at the same time, because why do you give a fuck about how other people talk as long as they're not talking about you or others in a bad way? That's kind of what this book talks about. And you really can't spoil this book because everybody takes something away from it that is relevant to them. And there are no characters in this book either because it's not that style of book. So, with that being said, let's get into my thoughts on this story. So, the subtle art of not giving a fuck, like I said, isn't your of the mill, oh, you're special, you just have to in love with who you are or realize that you're good enough. No, this book straight up says you're not special. Everybody has problems. You're just looking at your problems as if they are the end of the world, when there are people with much worse struggles that would love to be in your position because of what the struggles they are going through is a lot worse. And that's not to say that your struggles don't matter. It's just finding the importance of getting out of yourself and getting out of your own head and finding things that can get you out of your own head, because I feel like people are so stuck in their own heads that they forget that their problems aren't as bad as they could be, or their problems could be so much worse. And it's just about learning to put your problems into perspective. Like, oh, your wrist hurts. Well, at least it's just your wrist. You could be in a full body cast in the hospital. Or, oh, I'm late on rent, but at least I have a home to have rent be late for. It's kind of learning how to put your problems into perspective and learning how not to give a fuck about stuff so much. Like, why do we care so much? And it's not saying don't give a shit about anything, don't have emotions. That would make you a psychopath. Someone who doesn't have emotions is a psychopath. But it's like we take everything so seriously and we stress out like things are the end of the world. Like getting mad at a game. Like Tomb Raider makes me so mad. Why do I care? If the game makes me that mad, why don't I just stop playing it? Because the point of playing games is to have fun. If I'm not enjoying a book, I put it down and move on. Because the point of reading is to enjoy what I'm reading. I'm in a time in my life where I need to learn exactly what this book was trying to tell me. I need to stop giving a fuck about things that don't matter. I need to stop trying to hold on to things in the past that happened. People were shitty to me, friends used me, guys were jerks. It happens. I'm not the only one it happens to. I move on. Like, it's just about learning to not give a fuck about the things you can't change. It's not saying don't give a fuck, period. There was something that the book said that said, you're lucky because you have a life in the first place. Life deals everybody shitty hands. your attitude is what matters in the situation. And I think that this is a book that everyone should read, or at least listen to like I did, because I listened to it on audio. It just puts things in perspective. And not only was it good at putting things into perspective, but it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. I found myself laughing through the book a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I even told one of my friends that they should read this book because every time they call me for the past 3 years, they only call me to bitch about the same thing that I have given them advice for and tried to help them over and over and over again and over again for the past 3 years. Yet every time they call me, it's the same complaint. And at this point, I've come to the conclusion that they don't want help. They want someone to do everything for them. And as sad as it makes me, I think that's a friend that I need to step away from, because my efforts the past 3 years to help them, both in their career and outside of their career, wasn't enough, and they keep coming to me with the same complaints, yet never using the advice I try to give. I think it's my time to step away from them and not give a fuck about their problems, because I've tried my best for 3 years to help them, and I'm come to the realization they don't want help. They want someone to do it for them because they keep bitching about things that they can't change. That's the whole point of this book. Stop giving a fuck about things you can't change and focus on fixing what you can change. That's what this book is about. Stop giving a fuck about things that you have no control over and you can't change, and focus on the things that you do have control over and you can change. That is a thing. This is a book that all of us need to read. It's not your typical, oh, you're so special, just believe in yourself, self-help book. It's not boring. It's to the point. It doesn't give a fuck about your feelings, and it's funny on top of it. So, this is a book everyone should read. If you're in that time of your life when you're trying to learn what the book has to say. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!